Hi, thanks for joining me. When I lived in Colorado, I had what I considered to be a near-death experience, but when it happened, I had absolute peace, which I found to be very strange. So I want to tell you about that today. I was around age 21 and I was on my way to church. I think it was on a Wednesday night. It was evening, and I lived in the Colorado mountains, like where everybody skis. And so I was west of Denver and on the interstate and in the mountains. The mountain always generally will be down on one side, flat where the highway is, and then down again over here. So if you're driving on the road and you lose control of the vehicle, you may go between the two highways where there's a flat area, where if you have an accident, that's where you want to go. You don't want to go over here because you could hit the side of the mountain. There's huge boulders on the side of the road. And obviously you don't want to go down this way because you could tumble down the mountain. And there's guardrails in some places, but not everywhere. And basically I was low on fuel, and I knew that. And I thought about it. I was in an SUV, and I thought, well, if I'm low on fuel and the back of the SUV is not loaded with any payload cargo, and I'm the only person in the vehicle, then there's no weight back there, and all the weight of the vehicle is in the front of the vehicle, which leads very easily to tail swing, because your front end is heavier than your rear end. It would probably be better, I'm not a car expert, but if they were more evened out, that way if you slide, you're doing more like this instead of losing your tail end like this and then going into a fishtail. And from what I understand, when they put new tires on cars, they generally put the new tires on the rear, because I've been told if there's anything, that if you ever go into a slide, if you have a choice between losing control of the front and losing control of the back, you 100% do not want to lose control of the back. It's much better to have the front slide than to have the back slide. So I was probably 21, I think, 20 or 21. And I think that my thinking was that I'm running late for church. I'll just drive slow and take it easy. And I had to get on the interstate. I guess it was probably I-70. And it was snowing, but if you're in Colorado, especially if you live there like I did, and it depends on the season, but I was told before I moved there and while I was there that season was extremely wet. They had more snow that season than they'd had in like 5 years or something like that. So when I was there, it was snowing all the time. You know, people still go to work, people still go do their business. But anyway, I thought about that and I thought, well, I'll just drive slow and it'll be okay. Well, it ended up not being okay. I was running late for church and I was going definitely below the posted speed limit, but too fast for the conditions. I think I might have been going 55 and the speed limit may have been 65 or 70. I'm not sure. So I was back down off of that, but it probably, especially with not having the fuel tank on the SUV, was in the back. And so, you know, you add 20 gallons times 8 pounds versus the engine weight in the front and just not having much weight in the back, then it would have been a lot better. Not guaranteed to stop me from losing control of the rear end, but it would have been a lot better if I had fueled up and if I had left earlier. But anyway, I guess it was on I-70. It was a major interstate. You know, there's, I think, 2 lanes going that way and then 2 lanes coming this way, and then there's a median. And so I was going around a turn and everything had been going fine. It was normal snow. It wasn't, as far as I know, I don't think it was ice. If it was ice, I wouldn't have gone if it was like that. But the snow was falling, and it was just coming down, and it was enough to make it slippery. And also, at the time, one of my jobs that I had as a security guard was I drove often when it was snowing. I drove all night on the snow. But the difference with that, now I will say the SUV was four-wheel drive, but in this case, I don't think that mattered. When I had to drive for my job, we never drove fast, or if we did, it was for like just going between properties or something like that. Pretty much we were just creeping around, 15 miles an hour. And so I felt like, well, I drive on snow all the time, and it's part of my job, and so, should be okay. But I was headed to church, and then I was going around a turn like this, and going around the turn, the back end just started to slide out like that. And it was a gradual process. It didn't whip out or anything like that. You're going, and then first your vehicle is pointed this way, going around the turn, and then your vehicle is pointed this way, and then it whips back, and then your vehicle is pointed this way. And so I was trying to counter steer and to get the vehicle under control, and I may have over counter steered. I don't know. Like I said, I was 21. And but I tried to gain control of the vehicle, and maybe I over counter steered. Maybe I should have just let it coast and do its thing. I'm not sure. When stuff happens like that, it's, So when that happens, for me, my adrenaline goes way up, my heart rate goes up, and I'm trying to regain control of the vehicle. So it slides some this way, and it slides more that way, and then it comes back this way, slides more, and then I think I'm not sure, it was snowing, and it may have been dark, I can't remember. And then it came back around this way, and it basically was just going more each time. And then when eventually, sometimes cars spin out and stay on the road, or sometimes you can regain control. That did not happen in my case. In my case, I was going around the turn. There weren't hardly many people on the roads. And, if it was a Sunday, I don't know, then maybe that's why there weren't many people on the roads, but there weren't many people on the roads. There was some traffic. But anyway, it went a little bit, then it went some more, and then went back again this way more. And then I think probably about right here would be where I was just going full on sideways, lost total control of the vehicle, and I might have been going 45 or 50 miles an hour. And my policy when I'm driving right now on snow is I don't drive any faster forward than I'm comfortable going sideways. So if I'm driving forward at 35, and I imagine if you were going 35 sideways in the vehicle, would this make you nervous? And if my answer is yes, then I slow down. If I feel like, well, if I'm going 30 miles an hour sideways, I'll probably be okay, then I drive at 30. But my assumption now is that the vehicle could likely lose control. Anyway, so it goes like that, like that, like that, like that. And then once I realized that, or I don't know, God told me something, that I had lost total control of the vehicle, that I had zero control over what was happening with the vehicle. It's hard to see. It's snowing. I can't remember if it was daytime or nighttime or dusk. And as soon as I realized that I had lost all control whatsoever of the vehicle, and I was just a cannonball going down the road, and whatever was going to happen was going to happen. Maybe I could go to the median, hopefully, or the vehicle would go to the median. I wasn't in control of the vehicle. Or the vehicle could go, down the side of the mountain. Like I said, there's a slanted part, there's a highway, the median, the other side of the highway, and then it goes down the mountain. And that, once I had lost total control of the vehicle, all control of the vehicle, I just felt an overwhelming sense of peace, which is very strange. You'd think that your emotions would get more and more tense as the situation, got worse. But instead, my emotions and adrenaline went up, up, up when I was trying to gain control of the vehicle. And then once I lost control of the vehicle, total control of the vehicle, and I was just had my seatbelt on and the vehicle was just doing, I don't know how many, I wasn't there. I mean, I was there, but I wasn't behind the vehicle. I don't know if the vehicle spun multiple times or if it just went straight sideways, but it ended up, thankfully, it's a blessing, ended up going to the median. So it went to the median, and then it rolled over, and I wasn't going very fast, and I don't think it rolled over more than once, because when it stopped, the vehicle, the SUV, was upside down, and I was hanging, I guess, upside down by my seat belt, and the roof in front of me was caved in, and the windshield was all smashed out, and the SUV had a sunroof, and I can't remember, but I suspect that was all smashed out, because I remember later, after the accident, after the tow vehicle came and all that, I remember putting my foot up against the roof to try to push it back out, so that I could get it to the house or whatever. But anyway, so I was upside down, hanging from my seatbelt, and there was snow on the side, on the driver's side and on the passenger side, and I think there might have been a little bit of daylight up there, or dusk, whatever it was, up there. Maybe, I guess it wasn't pitch black, because I remember seeing a little bit of daylight up there. And this part was all snow, and I thought, well, I've got to get out of this vehicle. I don't know if there's other vehicles coming, another vehicle could be sliding behind me. I don't know. I'm upside down in a rolled over vehicle. I got to get out. So the point of this video is that I had absolute peace, and I ended up having no physical injuries caused by the accident. I cut my hand, and I still have a scar on my hand. Yep, it's still there, big time, where you see that light mark right there. But that happened in the garage after the fact, because all the glass was hanging down. I was trying to move the SUV, and hurt my hand a little bit when I punched the driver's side glass out. It just made it tender. It didn't break anything. But anyway, I punched the driver's side glass out with my fist, and then I guess, I don't remember everything. I guess I just clawed my way out to get away from the vehicle, because it was snow up to there. I wasn't going to sit there. I wasn't passed out or anything, or knocked out. And so I just climbed out, and got away from the vehicle, and there it is, sitting upside down in the snow. And the weird thing about this is just having that absolute peace when I had when all control of the vehicle was completely gone. And the vehicle ended up being totaled by the insurance company. So it was a serious accident. But I just thought, I would share that with you. I understand everybody has their own spiritual or non-spiritual walk, whatever that may be, if you believe humans are spiritual entities or not spiritual entities, or whatever you believe. My faith is that God created us. God exists. He's active. He sent his son Jesus to die on the cross for our sins. And I'm a Christian, and I do my best I fail a lot, but I do my best to live a life that's pleasing to him. And I believe that God gave me peace when he knew that there was nothing more that I could do, if that makes sense. And when I had lost all control of the vehicle. And so I just found that really odd. And I can't say for certain this, that, or another about that situation, but I just wanted to share it with you. I know that a lot of people are, right now anyway, everybody faces health challenges, and for them, for family members, and for whatever. And that was my experience with having zero control over a situation. Zero. In a very dangerous situation. But I don't know if that's encouraging to you or helpful. I just wanted to share that story about something that happened to me. And I believe that God gave me peace in that situation. It makes no sense for me to have peace in that situation when you might go rolling down a mountain in a vehicle. But I did, you know. And then as soon as the vehicle had stopped moving and I was upside down and the vehicle was no longer moving, it was back to adrenaline mode, break the glass, get the glass out of the way, get the snow out of the way, crawl out from the vehicle and get out of there. And the bizarre thing is, you know, as a result, except for things that I did, like hitting the glass and later cutting my hand, you know, still got a big fat scar there. Later, after the fact, not a scratch. Not a scratch on me because of the accident and rolling over. Not a scratch. So I realize that may not be the case for everybody. Maybe you've lost a family member in a rollover. But that was my main thing. It just had an overwhelming sense of peace in that situation. Well, that's all I have for this story. I hope your day's going okay. And if you're going through situations, the Bible, I think, is really helpful. Helps me an insane amount. But I realize and respect that everybody has different faiths and beliefs and spiritual walks or non-spiritual walks or whatever you got going on. I respect that everybody is different. Everybody's in a different place in life and a different place in their timeline. So, God bless. Talk to you soon.